In 9 days on my bike, I bike all the way from the Netherlands to Copenhagen by myself. And so far I love it. Yesterday was the first bike day in Denmark, and to come here I took the ferry from Germany. So today the adventure in Denmark continues. My name is Elizabeth and welcome to my journey. After my first night in Denmark, I wake up in Herbølle, at this simple but nice campsite at the coast. The campsite provides an outdoor kitchen and a sanitary building, which are both simple but fine. Looking at the location of the campsite, I'm a bit sad that I need to leave today and I don't have time to explore the area a bit more, as from the campsite it looked beautiful. But as I didn't have a good dinner last night, I was also looking forward to find a supermarket to refill my energy with some food. So after I packed all my stuff, I jumped on my bike and started the day. By now I thus still didn't have any food after my dinner last night, until I suddenly realized that I had an apple with me that I forgot about. So breakfast it was. With some fuel in my body, I got back on my bike and continued the beautiful route. And this morning I especially enjoyed the interesting sky full of small clouds. And of course the flowers. So this is day 8 of the 9, so I'm almost in Copenhagen. It's now 9:14 and I feel like I'm the only one alive because it's so still, and that's kind of an awesome feeling. And no cars, no other people. Yeah, so today not sure where I'm going to end this trip. I think I'm going to bike around 80 kilometers and then feel how my legs are and where I am at that point. So yeah, exciting and also lovely. I haven't eaten any breakfast yet, except for an apple actually, but I really need to eat something more for long day of biking. So when there's a supermarket, I will get off my bike and go find some food. Yesterday was my first day in Denmark and I just love it here. The air feels so fresh and it's a little bit chilly, but not too, so it's really good bike weather. And yesterday I had this road along the coast and it was just stunning. I really loved it. Yeah, and also the boat trip was amazing. I love to be on boats, but this felt like I'm going to a different country. Yeah, it felt very official and just exciting. Okay, so day 8. As the landscapes flew by, the interesting clouds made little by little room for a blue sky. After crossing some houses, I soon approached not one, but 2 supermarkets, which made it breakfast time. The first one I saw was the Aldi, but besides this interesting currywurst sandwich, I couldn't really find anything I wanted. And as I really love to visit supermarkets abroad, I jumped off my bike again when I saw this second supermarket, also to complete my food storage for the lunch already. The Rema 1000, which was a new supermarket for me, and when walking here, I really thought this was an IKEA supermarket, as I felt a similar vibe when looking at all of these products. And as there was way more choice here, I took quite a lot. And outside I also ate this currywurst sandwich directly as a sort of breakfast still. My opinion about this currywurst thing, well, I wasn't blown away, but I kind of liked it, so I think it's definitely worth trying. However, I must say I was also quite hungry, so trying it is at your own risk. After finishing my sandwich and eating some raspberries, I got on the bike and saw that the clouds were almost gone. Then I encountered roadworks, which made that I had to bike on the car road, which lasted for quite a while. But luckily the cars did look out very good. And I must say, besides this part, there were a lot of good bike roads. And after a while, it was time for a snack. A cinnamon roll with some chocolate on top of it. And this was a great snack for me as chocolate lover and sweet tooth. Having finished this sweet snack, the route continued on a large bridge from where I had this nice view over the water. Racing down, I first crossed a small village, and then I encountered in the middle of nowhere this nice white church. And later on these sheep. Next was Kalverhaven. And back into the nature. A small break to watch the cows. Sandvik was the next small spot that I crossed, but biking through here didn't take long. On some moments the silence gets interrupted by a tractor like this one, but in general it is so quiet on my route and I really enjoy it. After some more beautiful kilometers, it is time for lunch, and for that I found this cute hidden spot. So, time to eat my last sandwich with this beautiful view. And look at this pink. And although the water looks really nice, it is also really cold as I felt it with my hands. Back on the road, my route led me for some time along the coast and along these beautiful high trees. As mentioned by the start of today, I didn't really have a plan where I would stay for the night as I wanted to come as far as possible. This was because, as seen in the previous video, I had misplanned my route in Denmark a bit, which meant that I had to catch up some kilometers to arrive in Copenhagen on time. And at this point I still felt really fit, so I wasn't thinking about where I would set up my camp. And besides that, also the views were so nice that the kilometers flew by. And on some moments I deviated from my route a bit to enjoy the surroundings, like for example here. And yep, here I also took a detour. Then I entered the small town Lund, and shortly after I approached Rudvik, which was one of the biggest places I'd crossed since a long time. Arrived in Rudvik, I had made the plan to take a train from Rudvik to Stroby, as I already had biked 100 kilometers at this point and it was still 25 to Stroby, so at this moment I felt it was a bit too much and I had made the plan to take the train. However, this plan didn't turn out the way I had hoped it did. When I was at the train station, I booked a ticket to Stroby. Or so I thought. My ticket mentioned that my train would leave half an hour later. Or so I thought. Therefore I biked to the harbor where I filled up my water bottles, went to the bathroom and bought an ice cream. Look how much ice cream options they had. After I wandered around a bit, I went back to the station where I had hoped to take a train. But as you by now might have guessed, that wasn't the case. A nice gentleman saw me waiting and told me that the train wasn't riding and that I could use my ticket for the bus instead. However, after doing some research, I found out that I need to take 3 buses instead of 1 to get to Strøby. And going on a bus with a loaded cycle, well, I didn't really saw that happening. So, yep, I again jumped on my bike. Although this wasn't literally jumping, as you can imagine after being 100 kilometers on my bike already. So at this point I biked just because I wanted to arrive in Strøby, and not so much anymore because I really enjoyed it, even though the route was still beautiful. And on the road I crossed this huge hole which I didn't know what it was for. If somebody knows what this is, please let me know down in the comments. As the sun was going down slowly, this mega pit was the last moment I stopped for a bit, and I increased my normal relaxed speed to a higher one to make sure to arrive before sunset. And to cover those last 25 kilometers of the day, I focused on the beautiful sun shining on the landscapes, and I had some sweets to help me to get through it. And then, after a day of around 125 kilometers, I finally saw the campsite I would stay for the night. And as I didn't have that much time before sunset, I raced to my spot to set up my tent. But first, time for anti-mosquito spray, as there were already a lot of them. While hoping that the mosquitoes would leave me alone, I set up my tent while it was still light outside. Then it was finally time to take a warm shower after this very long day. And then dinner. People who've seen my previous video know how filling and healthy and full of vegetables my last dinner was. And you might have thought, well, lesson learned. From now on, you have always some food with you in case there isn't a supermarket close by the campsite. Well, not really. I'm definitely blaming that I was in a hurry and that I really wanted to set my tent up before sunset, which made that I hadn't stopped at the supermarket to get some vegetables for dinner. I did buy some pasta earlier today, but well, a dry pasta isn't really a proper meal after a long bike day. So I went to the reception where I saw by arriving that they sold some items there. So I went there for some ingredients and luckily they had some to fill up my pasta. And the guy behind the desk even went into the kitchen of the closed restaurant to get an onion and some garlic for me. So that was really, really nice. So there I was in the nice kitchen area, ready to cook a meal with tomato sauce, an onion and some garlic, which turned into a tasty pasta. And that was it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. In the next episode I have my last bike day of this trip and I'm gonna arrive in Copenhagen, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. See you there. Bye bye.